Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today's story is titled "The Parrot Laughed as I Drew Symbols in the Mud," and it is an exciting one. Let's begin. I was sitting alone in the jungle clearing. The ground was damp beneath me, my fingers coated in thick mud. I didn't know why I started drawing. Maybe it was instinct, maybe boredom, or maybe something deeper, pulling me to connect with the earth beneath. I began with circles, then arrows, strange lines, ancient patterns I'd seen carved into stones on past treks. I wasn't thinking, I was remembering without knowing where the memory came from. That's when I heard it. A sharp laugh, high-pitched, mocking, unnatural. I turned, startled. Perched just above me was a bright green parrot, its eyes locked on mine, head tilted, as if it had been watching all along. It laughed again, louder this time, almost like it understood what I was doing. My heart pounded. In a place like this, laughter doesn't come without meaning. And a parrot doesn't just sit and stare unless something's about to happen. I kept drawing. More symbols. My hands moved faster. The parrot didn't move. It just watched, its laughter echoing like it was reacting to each stroke. I don't speak their language, but I sensed their meaning. And as I drew, I felt a presence shift in the clearing. The wind grew still. The trees stood silent. Time felt slower. It was as if the jungle itself was holding its breath. Then the ground trembled just slightly, enough for the parrot to flutter its wings but not fly. The mud beneath my fingers began to dry quicker than normal, like the jungle was preserving the symbols. I stopped and stared at what I had made. They weren't random anymore. They looked like a forgotten map or warning. The parrot moved, flew in a slow circle above the markings, then landed near a broken tree trunk. It pecked at the bark and then flew off again, leaving behind a small carving I hadn't noticed before, the same symbol I'd just drawn. My chest tightened. Had I uncovered something buried by time? Or had the jungle remembered what I had forgotten? I scrambled to my feet, heart pounding. Is this place hiding a secret? What did the parrot know that I didn't? Driven by a sudden urgency, I followed the parrot's flight path, pushing through thick foliage, my eyes scanning the ground. The jungle seemed denser here, the air thicker, as if guarding something precious. Then I saw a glint of sunlight on a rock monolith hidden beneath tangled vines. It was tall and smooth, shaped naturally, yet it stood out like an ancient altar. I ran to it, my hands reaching out as if to touch a long-lost memory. As I brushed away the vines, the sunlight revealed a series of deep carvings. My breath hitched. They were the same symbols I'd drawn in the mud, now frozen in stone. But there was more. Interspersed between the symbols were images of a parrot's beak, its eye, even its crest. This was no coincidence. This was a message. And then I saw it. At the base of the monolith, half buried in the mud, was a small emerald green feather. It's the same shade as the parrot's feathers. I picked it up, its tip worn smooth by time, yet its colors still vibrant. Suddenly, it all clicked. The parrot wasn't mocking me. It was responding, guiding me to remember what was already within me. This place, this carving, this feather, they were proof of a connection. A bond between me and this jungle that went beyond my human understanding. I wasn't just a visitor here. I was part of something bigger, something ancient and wise. As I stood there, feeling the weight of centuries around me, I realized the jungle had been trying to reach out to me. Through the patterns in the mud, through the laughter of the parrot, through the very stones beneath my feet. It wanted me to listen, to feel, to remember. Remember what I had forgotten, what we have all forgotten. For so long, I'd been searching for answers outside the jungle, outside myself. But here it was, right here, all along, waiting for me to awaken to its wisdom. I took a deep breath, letting the sounds of the jungle wash over me. The wind rustling through the leaves, the birds calling to each other, the distant roar of a waterfall. I closed my eyes, focusing on the feel of the sun on my skin, the smell of the damp earth, the taste of freedom on my tongue. In that moment, I felt whole, felt connected to everything around me. I was part of this vast, intricate web of life. I wasn't alone. I had the parrot, the jungle, the ancestors who had walked these paths before me. They were all with me, guiding me, supporting me, reminding me of who I truly was. I opened my eyes, my vision clearer, my purpose stronger. I knew I couldn't stay here forever. I had a life outside this jungle to live. But I was changed. I carried a piece of the jungle within me now, and I knew I would never be the same. As I walked away from the monolith, I looked back. The parrot was perched on top of it, its feathers glowing green in the dappled sunlight. It tilted its head as if acknowledging me. Then it spread its wings and soared into the sky, its laughter echoing through the trees. It took me days to find my way back to the clearing. The jungle, as vast and welcoming as it was also dense and tricky to navigate, but I didn't mind. I walked slowly, observing the details I'd missed before, listening to the symphony of sounds, feeling the energy of the ancient trees. When I finally reached the clearing, I found the monolith. The symbols in the mud had long since washed away, leaving no trace of my initial markings. But the parrot was there, perched on the same spot as before. It cocked its head and stared at me, its eyes intelligent, knowing. Then it did something unexpected. It spread its wings, revealing a small pouch hidden beneath its feathers. Curious, I approached cautiously. The parrot hopped down and placed the pouch at the base of the monolith. Then it stared at me expectantly. Hesitantly, I reached out and picked it up. It was soft and flexible, made of some sort of woven fabric. I opened it, revealing a collection of small objects. There was a polished stone, smooth and warm to the touch, like it had been held in countless hands before. Next to it lay a tiny silver bell, intricately carved with swirling patterns. Nestled in the corner was a dried leaf, its veins a perfect map of the jungle itself. Each item felt imbued with power, each one whispering stories of the past. I didn't know what these objects meant, but I knew they were important. They were tokens of connection, reminders of the bond between the parrot, the jungle, and me. I carefully placed them in my backpack, feeling their weight settle at the bottom. They were a physical manifestation of something intangible, something I had felt deep within me all along. As I looked up from the pouch, I saw the parrot preened its feathers, its movements graceful and precise. It ruffled its crest, then let out a series of short, sharp whistles. It was saying goodbye. I knew in my heart that our paths had crossed for a reason. The jungle had spoken to me through the parrot, guided me to uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight. Now it was time for me to carry that message forward. With a heavy heart, I turned and walked away from the clearing, the sound of the parrot's whistles echoing in my ears. As I ventured deeper into the jungle, I knew I was leaving a part of myself behind. But I also knew that I was taking a piece of the jungle's wisdom with me. The symbols in the mud, the carvings in the stone, the objects in the pouch, they were all a part of a language that transcended words. It was the language of connection, of reverence, of respect. And I was honored to have been a part of it, if only for a little while. Now, whenever I feel lost or disconnected, I close my eyes and remember the jungle. I remember the parrot's laughter, the ancient wisdom of the trees, the soothing rhythm of the waterfall. I know that no matter where I am connected to something bigger than myself, something eternal and true. The jungle doesn't forget, and neither do I.